This episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Domain.com. Today we take a look at the GoPro Hero3. Bleh. Ew. Too healthy. Bleh.
Eris, you want some yummies?
You bet your balls!
Sharing is caring.
Don't.
Angelina Jolie!
Come on, bro.
A unicorn!
Where?
Bastard!
So listen up good now, degenerate masses. You ain't gonna learn it in your high school classes, cause it ain't written down. And you know that it's true. There's a lot of famous people with less talent than you. Where fame may say you can be a serious earner. So put your weight on London on the afterburner. The story so far is one hell of a mess. So come and let me lead you through the wilderness. I'm a man with a plan.
You got me hit.
Those were snacks.
For me. Come on.
No. Gushers. No! It's your fault. You did this! Sharing is caring. I found them. Logo. Welcome to FilmRiot, the show that takes a mystery out of the facts and techniques to go to some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and ever since the GoPro H3 came out, I have been wanting to test it out on the show to see what I could do with it and how far I could take it. And today, we're going to do just that, thanks to this email. Hey, Rye, could you test out the GoPro H3 on the show? You know, I really didn't need to show that. We could have skipped it. That added nothing. Now, before we get started, this needs to be said, of course, as always, GoPro has nothing to do with this episode. I am not getting paid by them to do this. This is just my opinion and what I think about the GoPro for you peeps. So with that said, here it is, this little baby right here is the GoPro Hero3 camera, which is a huge upgrade from the last version. Now I have the black edition, which means I can shoot up to 2K in 1080 at 24 frames per second, 4K at 12 frames per second, and if I want slow-mo, I can do 120 frames per second at 720p and 60 frames per second at 1080p. So this new version brings all kinds of new options, but the thing that has me most giddy and impressed is the image quality increase. You can get some really beautiful images out of this camera now, and the insanely awesome GoPro app that can control the camera from your iPad or iPhone through Wi-Fi connection to your GoPro, which is free, by the way. The camera has Wi-Fi built in, so all you do is hit this button here to broadcast the Wi-Fi signal. And since I already have it set up, open the app, which will find my camera, click here to enter, then I'll click to go into the preview. So now I can use this to set up my shot, or I can hit the setting button over here, hit settings. Now I can change my resolution, frame rate, or any other parameters. You can control everything that this camera does through this app, which is so much easier than changing it on the camera itself. But once I'm done setting up my camera, I can start recording just by hitting the record button right here on the iPad. Again, all from the app. Now, you wouldn't use the preview here as like a live preview for running the camera, since there is a 5-second delay, which is the only downside that I could see to this app situation. If we moved in front of the camera, you won't see a change for full 5 seconds. So really, the preview here is just for setting up shots, not controlling them. If you did want live view for recording, you could always get the LCD Touch backpack, but I don't have one, so I can't show you that. Moving on to image quality, I was really impressed with how much improved the quality was in this version. We actually shot the entire opening sketch, dialogue scene and all on the GoPro, which is not something that I would have done with the last one. But I did want to see how far I could take this camera, even though you really wouldn't use this camera for this sort of thing, and I was not disappointed. Now, I shot the sketch in 2K and scaled down for some extra resolution, and since the camera has a bit of a fisheye look, I de-fisheyed the footage easily enough by taking it into After Effects. So I go into After Effects, then I add optics compensation to my clip, click reverse lens distortion, and raise your field of view till it looks right to you. For me, it was somewhere around the 70s, and there you go, simple fix. Now, I didn't use the camera for audio for the quiet dialogue scenes. It has decent enough audio for scratch track stuff in these moments, but not for production sound for something like this. So instead, I just used my H4n Zune and then synced everything in post. So just like my 5D Mark II, the on-cam audio is no good for production sound, but that is normal for most cameras. But that is the camera in a nutshell. Now, I used it for the entire sketch just to see if I could make it work easily enough. So I purposefully stayed away from lighting it very much. I let the room stay dim and so on, just to see if I could make it work. And I think it did. It worked out pretty well. But of course, you aren't gonna use it for this. I mean, this is a specialty camera. The thing can be mounted anywhere to get crazy unique, mind-melting shots. It's so freaking durable that it lends itself to that and even more. So we are going to take a second to thank the people that make this show happen for you, and then we're going to get into what sorts of awesomeness could be done with this bad boy. So if you're looking to start a business on the internet, like for instance, looseskin.com, like if you're like missing most of your skin because a wizard, say, ripped it all off, you could go to my new business on the interwebs, looseskin.com, to buy some donated skin from people who got liposuction because they got extra skin, and they donate it like people who cut their hair and donate hair, so you can then have more skin because the wizard ripped your skin off.
So if I needed more skin because a wizard ripped it off, I could get it through this website.
Yes, and that website exists thanks to domain.com. So I get my web hosting and my domain name up and running at domain.com because it really is the best and easiest place to go to get this sort of thing. So, and then their domain discovery system is going to hook me up. Like if looseskin.com is taking the domain discovery system, will probably suggest something like loose skin because a wizard ripped it off, and now you can rent other skin to fill in the gaps where the wizard ripped your skin off.com. That is awesome. And just to sweeten the deal, you could use a coupon code FilmRiot at checkout to score 15% off your domain name and web hosting. So if you're looking to build a presence on the web for your loose skin rental, or we could just rent the skin because maybe you don't need it for forever. You just need I'm just thinking out loud. Do it through domain.com.
I'm concerned for you.
Why?
Logo.
So here is where it gets fun. The number one thing I love about GoPro cameras is the fact that the only limitation on where you can put these things is your imagination. It is so much fun to think up new places to mount the GoPro for crazy results. To get Eris chasing Josh around to be a little bit more exciting and unique, I tried out a bunch of different mounting methods, and I also thought it'd be cool if I shot the chase totally mounted to the guys, some of which I used GoPro's mounting gear for, and then others I just improvised. For instance, I strapped this little thing to the top of their shoes using my wife's hair ties, and it worked perfectly for this super weird shot, which I love the effect you get. It's so trippy. Then I mounted to Eris's wrist using the same hair tie. After that, I had each of them run holding a monopod out in front of them to simulate sort of a snorri cam effect, which I thought worked pretty well for being so thrown together. After that, I grabbed the head strap mount from GoPro and I set it up on the guys. Really love the shots I got from this one. First, pointing straight down and looking at the one wearing it. Then I put it on Josh, turned it around to see Eris chasing him, and then on Eris filming forward at Josh. With all of these combined, the result was a crazy, trippy Guy Ritchie on crack chase scene, which I dug, though it may have given some of you motion sickness. So for those of you that it did, sorry. But even beyond this, there's so many things that you can do with the camera, like using the suction cup mount to set up on your car for some great shots, which we did in Drive Fast Without Driving Fast like 2 years ago. And again, since this thing is so durable and cheap that I don't have to worry about if I break it or not, I have no issue slapping it super close to the street and getting some crazy footage. Or you can grab the roll bar mount and mount it to your bike, or even the barrel of a gun to get that recognizable gun locked onto shot. And since it comes with a waterproof housing, plenty of fun can be had there too. We did another short years ago in a pool, which I used the GoPro for all the underwater stuff. It just made it so easy since it comes with that waterproof housing. So the best part about this cam is that the image quality is high enough to be mixed into the edit with your other cameras, but it's small, lightweight, and durable enough to try whatever you want. Get creative and get the shots that you want for your project, like throwing the GoPro across your yard just to get a clean plate of the world spinning out of control. It's just good loving. So there you go. This camera is a specialty camera. It shouldn't be the main camera in your arsenal, but it is a fantastic addition to your kit to help you get shots that will take your production to a whole nother level creatively without shelling out a ridiculous amount of cash. Especially if you are into filming sports of any kind, this is a must. It comes in 3 flavors, white, silver, and black editions, all in different price levels, so you can get the one that fits your budget. But that's it for today, friendo. But just to let you know, if you don't watch our other show, Film State, which is all about movie news, trailers, what's coming, what you should know, and so on, why not? Why aren't you watching?
Why not?
Is what I have to say about that. Anyway, we are doing something really cool that I think you guys are definitely going to want to jump onto. It's called the Film State Awards, which now I'm going to do some Inception type shizzle and let me explain this for me from my other show on this show. Just a reminder, an exciting reminder, the website is in fact up, which is thefilmstateawards.com. Yes, our first ever award show, the Film State Awards, which we want you to help us vote for who's nominated. So we're going to have 2 rounds of voting, which we talked about before. The first round is for you to help us decide who's going to be nominated to even potentially win. Then the second round will be who wins. So right now we're in the first round of voting, which is for the nominees. Go to thefilmstateawards.com right here, this link right here, and vote in each category. I think you can vote up to 6 people. It's 5 to 6 in each category to help us decide who should even be nominated. So this is the legit one. This is what the world freaking thinks. What movies of 2012 should have actually won? What people in what movies would actually have done? Let's find out. Help us find out. FilmStateAwards.com. You've been incepted. But definitely listen to me from my other show and jump over to the Film State Awards site to get involved. Also help us out by tweeting, Facebooking, whatever to help us get the word out. I think this is a lot of fun. I think a lot of people will dig it. But enough of that. I'm outie. I'll see you guys next week when I get swallowed by a giant cockroach to get my gun back.
Hey Eris, I can see you. It's like I have eyes in the back of my head.
I got it.
Get it?